All right. Hello, Sam's fans. We're back with another Facebook Live interview. As usual, we have these on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. We were gone for a while because of some problems we had on Facebook, but we're back and we're hoping to keep these every week. We have lots of music therapists, art therapists, and other illustrious individuals coming to join us. And one of them, so today we have Tom Chester. And Tom is the program director at Sing Me a Story. So Sing Me a Story is a nonprofit organization, and we'll be telling you what the organization is about and so on. But Tom, thanks for joining me and for being here for the interview.
You bet. I'm glad to be here.
And just as the interview goes along, if any of you has any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll try our best to answer. But I'm excited to talk to you, Tom, because our organizations kind of overlap and it's all about music. It's about helping children. So I'm really excited to talk to you.
Yes.
And just as a starter, what can you tell us a bit about what Sing Me a Story is? What's the organization about?
Sure. So Sing Me a Story is a nonprofit that serves children in need around the world. And how we do that is we give kids the opportunity to write a story about anything. And whatever they write about, whether it's just an escape from their circumstances for a little bit into a world of their own imagination, or it's really wrestling with something that they're facing or have dealt with. Either way, we turn those stories into personalized songs via professional bands and songwriters around the country.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so you have a website, right? So people can actually go in there and see the stories and kind of listen to the recordings, right?
Yes, almost all of them. So the website, singmeastory.org, you can go and you can check out, maybe there's a cause that you're passionate about that you can go look up, but you can read the kids' stories and see the songs that were inspired by those stories, and also donate. So the people can donate to raise, first, it's most importantly raises awareness for these kids and the great work nonprofits are doing. But then you can also raise donations to, hopefully it'll go right back to more kids. So your donation, if it's for muscular dystrophy, is going to go toward muscular dystrophy.
Definitely. Yeah, so I think that's super awesome. And, I didn't know about this organization until recently, so I'm really glad to hear about it. And hopefully at some point I can even, I don't know, I play music myself, so it would even be nice to write a song.
Yeah, and Austin, if he's going to watch this, he's going to laugh because I have heard the origin story quite a few times in my day. I'll sum it up. Austin also moved here as a songwriter, and a beautiful girl moved in next door to him, and she was becoming a child life specialist or something close to that at Vanderbilt. And she knew that Austin played guitar, and he said, "Oh, you should come play guitar for the kids." And so he did. Originally, it was to impress the girl. But when he was there, he started spending time with these kids and saw people coming in and out, giving them stuff, dropping by stuff, playing a song and leaving, which is all wonderful. But we say the greatest gift is the gift of giving. So he said, what's something they can give me? And it was something that all kids can do, which is tell stories. So he had them tell stories, and he went home and put his songwriting craft to it and took it back to the kids, and he saw the impact that it had. And he suddenly changed gears from what I understand of, he's like, I think I'm here to do this, not necessarily the Nashville songwriter thing. But anyway, that's the origin story. And the really cool part of that is he married the girl next door. He married Sarah, and they have a little girl and one on the way. So it's a good story all the way around.
Oh yeah,
he tells it better.
That's great. yeah, for sure. Well, that's great. Yeah, I didn't actually know that story. That's awesome. Just want to give a shout out to Patty. She's Nikki's mom, and she watches a lot of our interviews, and she thinks it's a great idea. So
thanks, Patty. That's cool that I can see that on there. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So It sounds like a great organization. And I was also curious. So you say that now you work with 150 organizations or something like that. So I'm curious to know, I don't know when it was founded and what progress you've seen up till today.
Yes. So I was the second person on board. So I've been with Sing Me Story for 4 years. And I have seen a lot of growth, a ton of growth. And so not only has it been a growth in how many like the nonprofits that we're working with, which is great. It's also been in the reach. So like we exist to provide something really cool for kids first. But then a part of that is we create unique, positive content that gets people's attention. So our reach has grown through different things like the Today Show and stuff like that. So instead of me reaching out to nonprofits, we started to have people reach out to us, which has been really cool. Some other things that have grown is that we're partnered with venues and festivals across the country, and that's where a big source of our songwriters come from, which is really cool because we have traveling, working professional bands, and it also gives us an opportunity to videotape them in the green room while they're recording the stuff. Sort of an additional element of engagement with the kids. And we've also found a path to provide this and sort of raise the ante on the kind of awareness we can bring by doing these videos, which sort of is a mini documentary of the project, from kid writing the story, songwriter taking that story, turning it into a song, and then the song reveal. That's been a pretty cool thing to see that develop. And for me, because I get to be part of a family, I am sort of soaked into a loving family for a while. So that's been awesome.
Definitely. I love that. That's cool. I actually haven't seen those videos, so I'll have to check them out. And I'm sure if we share them on our page, people will love them as well.
Yes. Yes.
And then I was also curious. So a lot of our viewers, a lot of our supporters, they know about music therapy because we talk to them a lot. We have music therapists join views. Curious, well, I know, but can you also explain to our audience the involvement that you have with music therapists and how your mission also aligns with music therapy?
Yes. We love music therapy, and we have a link actually on our website of our relationship with music therapy. And so first, I've got to say that music therapist expertise, we don't replace that at all. You all are awesome, those of you who do that. But we hope to, and we're humbled by the opportunity to be used as a special tool in that kind of work. So where it really comes into play most is we don't know what these kids are going to write stories about, and they're facing all kinds of things. So if they decide to write about something that's pretty sensitive, probably needs to be kept personally. And that's why I said most of the songs you can hear. There's a lot that you can't, because there's a whole section of Sing Me Story called Our Inner Circle. And in our inner circle, these stories from kids about stuff that you wouldn't want to share. Maybe it's they're losing their brother or sister to cancer, or maybe it's they've faced some kind of abuse or something, like whatever it may be. If they want to write about that, we're going to deliver on our end of providing a meaningful song that's going to last them a lifetime. And we need help with that. So we turn to professionals. And so we ask music therapists behind the scenes to write those songs in those sensitive situations, so we know that it's being handled well, and we know that it's the most meaningful it can be for that child and family.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm a therapist yet, but I'm in training. And I definitely agree, and I see how this idea and this concept of writing a story and then having that into music can be powerful, and it's one of in school or as music therapists, we learn it as one of the types of interventions that you can have, which is composition. And yeah, it definitely has its power. And I love that you are also bringing music therapists on board, and that they're also able to participate in creating music to these stories. So that's awesome.
Thank you very much. Am I going in slow motion over there? Because sometimes you're a little bit slow motion delayed.
Yeah, well, it looks
Probably my fault.
maybe the connection sometimes it's a bit blurry. Anybody
Okay.
watching, if you're having any troubles, definitely let us know in the comments.
Yes.
But I think.
Good.
Now,
Good.
one of the last items here, also people watching, you can drop down your questions. But one of the last items was, I was wondering if you had any stories that you would like to share, maybe a particular story from a kid or a particular song that really got you. I don't know.
Oh, wow. You did put me on the spot. There's been so many wonderful stories and memories that come with those stories. I'll bring up a couple because they're fresh and really cool. So I got to meet earlier this week. I went to visit a family. There's this little girl named Joelle that she's battling cancer, but she is a special kid. And the story she wrote is called The Worry Monster. So it's a story about all the lies that the worry monster tells you, and the things that she really struggles with, things that, like go past her head of, you're not going to get better, like all this kind of stuff. You're all alone. And then the story is about how to counter the worry monster. So what the truth is. So this is the lie that the worry monster tells you, and here's the truth. And it was such a really wonderful story. And she talked about, I'm sure this is something she learned with the therapist, but about how breathing. So she talked about what colors are anxious for her, or bad thoughts, and what color those are. And she inhales the good and exhales the bad. So she sees the good stuff coming in and all the bad.
Looks like you might have frozen. I don't know.
Sorry. One of my favorite right now until tomorrow, and then it's another cool story, but I don't know. I never know what's around the corner, but that's a good one.
Definitely. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, that's awesome. Is there any other one that you would like to share?
Oh yeah, you're right. So I said a couple. So another one is the story. It's really about who it's from. There's this little boy that has cerebral palsy, and while he can't write out the story on his own, just who he is and the impact he has on everyone around him and his family is so incredible. So the story is really about that, about how he changes everyone around him through something that's really hard. So he did a lot of the artwork, which is fun. But just to see a family come together to work on that, work together for him, that was really special. But he's such a sweet young man.
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that perhaps our supporters or that music therapists working with children with serious illnesses could also relate to. And I'm sure any music therapist watching could know how music can bring families together and really impact these children.
Yes. Power of music.
Definitely. All right. Well, if anybody watching has a question, this is your last chance. And Tom, I don't know if there's anything else that
No, I mean we're grateful for the opportunity, and thank you for helping us, further get the word out, because what it's all about, bringing this opportunity to more kids and providing a little bit of healing into their lives, and putting a spotlight on all the good work people are doing all around the world, really, through the power of music, through the power of art, stories. It brings us together and it reminds us of our common humanity. So the more we can do that, I think the more we're working toward a unified planet, and that's the dream. That's what we want. Anyway, so thank you for the opportunity, and we hope that we can all come together on this good stuff. I can't hear anything right now. I'm so sorry. I think it's a wave. Thank you. Thank you so much.